Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about a very pertinent topic of bodybuilding and physique and all that good stuff, which is diet and nutrition. I want to broach several aspects of diet and nutrition, such as bulking, lean bulking, getting cut, losing fat, all these good things that everybody wants to do. So, let me just present a little bit about where I am on my personal journey. After a 4 month cut or calorie restricted diet, I am now desiring to build the maximum amount of muscle that I can. So, I bottomed out at 182 pounds on the 16th of December and have been slowly gaining weight. The first 15 days were rather quick, the usual, the rebound, a little bit of rehydration and all of that stuff. So I bumped up like 6 or 7 pounds, and then a few more here, a few more there. And today is the 2nd of February. We're up to 193 pounds. So we've gained 11 pounds in about 2 months, a little less than 2 months, which is very modest. So, what is bulking? What is it that we mean when we talk about bulking, which is what I am trying to do right now, which is gain weight, increase your body mass index, and increase it hopefully through more muscle mass and not lipids and fats and just body fat. How is this done? How do you bulk properly? Okay, let's discuss the several ways of bulking. You can do it clean. And what is clean? Eating just whole foods and increasing the calories of those whole foods. Eating dirty or doing some cheats, which is eating junk food, eating, restaurant food without any measure, just eating a lot of restaurant food apart from your structured meals, and then just a power shove dirty bulk, which is just really going on the majority of just junk food, packaged food, refined foods, and all of that. What is it that we want to do? We want to obviously clean bulk, but there's a limit to how much weight you can gain with that clean bulk, at least for many people, and I'm finding this particularly so for me. So on a lean bulk, you'll plan out your calories to be in a surplus. You have to know how many calories you need for maintenance. This is very basic stuff, but we'll go over it again. You have to track and you have to write down everything you eat for a week as you are without making any changes and average it out per day to know exactly how many calories you're eating to stay where you're at. Your status quo, how many calories? If it's 3,000, 3,200, 2,500, depends on the person, their size and everything, their body weight. And then you start from there, right? So in my case, my maintenance is around 3,000 calories, 3,200 calories. So I bumped those up to 36, 37, 3,800 calories. And this is how I've been gaining weight slowly over the last 50, 60 days with these moderate increases. Very little junk food, mostly, meats, chicken, rice, or the whole foods, anything that comes from the ground. Now, I've been weaning away from the diuretic vegetables like the zucchinis, all the garden stuff that is really good for dieting and cutting. It takes up some volume and you want more calorie dense food when you're on a bulk. So you'll substitute those for more potatoes, more grains, more beans and stuff like that. More pasta. Pasta is a very high carbohydrate refined food. It's excellent for bulking because it helps get in those extra calories. You'll find that when you're trying to bulk with just clean food, you have to eat a lot of food. You have to eat it consistently. You have to eat it day after day after day. This is where the lifestyle discipline of a bodybuilder or a physique person comes in, over and above and beyond a normal person's routine. Say you're just an office person, you work out 3 times a week and you want to get in shape or you want to get bigger. You have to understand that to get results, there's going to be some level of commitment. Some things may seem extreme. You may not need to take them to extremes, but nonetheless, they're within a certain level of daily commitment. So if you're that type of person that can commit daily to something and see it through over a long period of time, this is absolutely for you. You will get the results that you want. You'll find that body that you envision as long as you adhere to the nutrition of your personal needs, and you stick with this over a long period of time. So there comes a time, and some people may not gain weight doing the clean bulk. This is when some cheats are added. You can have hamburgers. You can add fats to your diet in the form of avocados, which are very high calorie, and olive oil. So say you're eating 3,600 calories out there. You hear me, you know who you are. 3,600 calories, and you're just not gaining weight. You'll go up to 4,000 calories, and that weight scale doesn't seem to budge. Like, it'll go up during the day, like you're eating more food, and then, in the morning you go and weigh yourself. You might even be down half a pound after stuffing yourself all day. Some people have this problem. I have this problem. I'll eat and eat and eat. I'll hit all my macros. I'll eat all my food. And, I'll get up in the morning and I'll be just exactly the same weight as the day before. And then I'll go take a piss and I'm like down a pound. It's one of those very frustrating things when you're trying to do something, you want to gain weight, now you can't, no matter what you eat. So what have I been doing? I've been drinking a lot of coffee ever since I started my cut back in September. And so it's a habit that I'm trying to get away from because it does speed you up. It does help with like the sugar metabolism, and it does help you lose weight. So it's not really the most convenient thing for bulking. And when you're bulking, you're eating more food. Your blood pressure might be a little bit higher. You don't want to be doing a lot of coffee like I was doing. I was drinking, this is like a half-liter mug. I'll drink 4 or 5 of these a day. I know that's ridiculously retarded. There's just some people like me that do some things to extreme, but I have no problem with it, believe me. Anyways, so back on point. So what do we do to bust through these like bulking plateaus? We substitute this for sweet fruit juices. Like I'm drinking orange juice right now, which I never do on a calorie restriction. Stay away from those fruit juices. But nothing's working. Like, I'm not gaining weight, so I have to introduce some very high glycemic carbohydrates at certain times to, along with all the protein and all the other carbs and all the fats and everything, nice and full. And then you have the juice, and, it helps to fill out a little bit more. So these are like techniques. You can add olive oil onto your food to increase the calories. Now, let's get down to specifics. Most of you who have studied this or know, what a calorie is. So a calorie is a unit of energy that you expend and then you store, and that this balance determines how much you weigh and how much you gain or lose. So it's very important to understand the theory and the concepts of calories, for sure, absolutely. But above and beyond that, you have a metabolism that, digests this calorie and that it expends the calorie. And every single body is different in how they do this. Some people absorb these calories and store them. Other people, they burn them off very quickly because they're just, their motor is running faster or whatever it may be, their hormones. It's so complex, but we can generalize to a great degree. Not everybody's the odd man out. It's like statistically, most people will fall into these, determined categories, and these things work. So calorie, the highest, most dense calorie that there is fat. It has 9 calories per gram. Very dense stuff. Then it's followed by the protein, which is what you need to build muscle and to maintain that lean physique and to rev your metabolism also. It also produces more than calories and all of this. I want people to understand that food produces enzymic reactions and hormonal reactions. So they'll trigger, they're messengers. You signal the body with certain foods. If I, for breakfast, I had a piece of cake, some pancakes with syrup on it, a glass of juice, and a pile of greasy bacon. Okay, let's just say that would be my protein source, a bunch of, really fatty, greasy bacon, and the rest is just a lot of sweets and stuff. I would signal to my body to store the fat, I'm at a loss for words what that would do because I don't do that, but I'm sure I'd feel like shit. I'd get an insulin spike, I'd go up and then I'd go down, then I'd get that rumbling in my stomach and I'd get really hungry for some more food, and then I'd store some more fat, then I get this big hump on my back, and these, everything would start blowing out, and I get a fat face and everything, and get obese. Is that because I'm signaling the body to do that? Now, if you eat a lot of protein, basically like higher protein percentage than normal, so it could be up to almost 50% protein, 10% fat, and 30% carbohydrate or something, 40% carbohydrate, something like that. Your body is going to be signaling not to store that food. It needs to digest it and process it differently. It doesn't store protein as fat. It would have to do, some hard metabolism to get to that state, that lipogenesis. And so it's not going to do that if you're working out. It's going to go to the muscles. The 30% of the carbohydrates going to go to your muscles and to fuel your brain and all of this stuff. And you're not signaling your body to store the fat. You're telling the body to build muscle. So you have to learn how to tell your body to do things with the food you ingest. Because food is the most anabolic thing you can introduce into your body, bar none. Don't introduce any food for 7 days and see what happens. Food is the most powerful modulator of body that exists. You restrict it too much, you feed it too much, you can change food to the perfection of, you can change your body any way you want, with the food. It's that powerful. No matter what else you do, understand that food is the most powerful thing that you can introduce into your body. If you want to have power and lift a lot of weight, you need food. You need to eat a lot of food. Okay, and this brings me to the other purpose of bulking. Yes, bulking to build muscle. But just by virtue of eating a lot of food, you're not going to build muscle. That's not signaling either. There's several signals that you need to introduce to your body. One of them is the food. That's the most anabolic thing that you can do. The second is the output, the exercise. That dynamic is what governs basically how much muscle you're going to build on the bulk. Because you really have to put the effort into the stressing of the muscles with the weights. So, a bodybuilder or a person that's really into this would write, or they know exactly what their output is. They know what their workouts consist of, and they progress every single workout, or at least every week, over time to create more and more output, more energy through all of the muscles is being burned in a limited amount of time. And those parameters are increased, the output is increased, everything is increased along with the food. If you have enough food and you are increasing your output, that energy is going to be focused towards the building of those muscles and increasing the size of those muscles. If you consistently pound more food and consistently lift heavier weights, it's not just about the volume, guys. You got to lift heavy. There's some basic exercises that you just cannot get around if you want maximum muscle. This does not apply to you fellas who just want to stay in shape. And I got some thoughts about that too, because no matter what level you want to project your body to, I believe that you have to do it to the utmost of your ability. If you want to stay at a certain lean, smallish state, you have to learn to do that to the best of your ability. And that's a half-ass hobby. It's an afterthought. I guess this video is not for you people. I am more directed to people who want to really focus on what they want and to get as good as they can. And just like that, we're somewhere else all of a sudden. So, some final thoughts regarding the bulking. To recap, it's all about keeping track of your calories. Just know exactly what your maintenance is, and go slightly to moderately above that. Always measuring your output. Always track your workouts. You have to track your output. You have to know how much energy you're spending on your bench press. I wish I could go to an app and see how many calories do I burn by doing 10 reps with 185 pounds on the incline bench at 45-degree angle. And I don't think I'm going to find that anywhere on the internet. I have looked. I've heard some very vague answers from some very supposedly learned trainers and coaches that, you don't burn that many calories while lifting weights. You burn more doing aerobic workouts. That's not telling me anything. That's really just keeping me in the dark, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how much energy I'm spending. Nobody knows.
Well, there's got to be a way to know. So at least you can come up with your own parameters by tracking the time under tension of your workouts. So say your bench press. You do 4 sets of 2 plates, 225 pounds for 10 reps. You write down the sets, the reps, the total pounds. And you also write down the time under tension. In other words, how many seconds did each set last? 45 seconds, 53 seconds, a minute and 3 seconds. So every set, you write that down, you add it up, and that's your time under tension approximately. You got your eccentrics, your peak contraction, all that shit. But you just track the time that you did the exercise. And you'll find that for bench press, you were a total of 3 minutes and 48 seconds under tension. So you try to increase that time under tension as you progress from week to week, as you increase your calories. And so that's basically the secret of the bulking thing, to eat your macros, eat enough protein, enough fats, and your carbohydrates to increase them into that surplus area, where you're 300, 400, 500, 600 calories over your needs, and track your progress in the gym. Your output has to increase. That's it for that's all for today. I don't want to get too distracted because I did have to go from one place to the other to finish this video, and I'm kind of scattered anyway. So we'll do this in as a series. This is like the first part, the first thoughts on the bulking. We'll get it a little bit more into the details of it, of what I'm doing particularly to increase my output, and I'll start showing my charts of the lifts, how they are increasing, along with the videos, which are going up every time I go to the gym. I do, I track everything I do. I do video everything I do. I don't put it up on the YouTube just because of time constraints and memory and export and all of that. So you do have to trim it down a bit. I'm down to just putting up the working set for each exercise, basically. Trying to keep that not too long. And so as we progress on the series, you guys that are following me, believe me, we're just starting out. We're going to be showing everything. We're going to be showing the charts, the workouts, the physique, everything as we progress, to this goal, which is peak maximum, development, of the body. So, that's strength, that's low body fat, that's hypertrophy, that's VO2 intake, conditioning, everything as we increase in age. So 57 now. Hopefully by the time we're 63 or 65, we'll be hitting our stride and peak condition. And to all those out there who say that can't be done, well, you're wrong. Anyways, God bless everybody, and until next time.